This. Slide changer from here. Can I'm supposed to have a slide changer. All my presentation is there.
This is your files?
Yeah.
Same one?
Yeah, same one. Correct. Can I have the slide changer? Yeah, sure. Good afternoon. I think you guys have been listening to lectures since morning, and probably I am the last one. So I will be the one between your lunch. It's nice to see all youngsters in the crowd. Just as my presentation gets ready, I would like to ask you all a question. How many of you all think that COVID was not such a bad thing? Can you raise your hands? How many of you think that COVID was not such a bad thing? So how many of you think it is bad? So COVID was bad. So I think, to me personally, I think it's the age difference. You guys being young, not able to get out of your house, COVID was almost like a prison sentence. It just kept you home and, so am I ready? All right, okay, thank you.
In case because of range it doesn't work, we will change it then.
Oh, all right, thank you. Is this back in front? So I think each one of us, based on what age group we were, COVID has made a positive or a negative impact. Definitely at your age, you wanted to be with your friends, enjoying parties, getting out, watching movies. That didn't happen. But definitely I think it gave you a different perspective about what do you do when life gets tough. This was almost like, for me, a World War situation. Is exactly what happens to you when World War starts. You're homebound. You never know when you're going to die. And so it's exactly that stress minus the actual war. So COVID has shown us only one thing, that size does not matter. A small virus like that has actually killed more than 4 million people. So it also made us aware that if we are not with the environment is not going to take care of you. So let me start my presentation. The incidence of post-COVID symptoms that I'm going to talk about. COVID is over, definitely. There is no two things about it. Whether the third wave will come, fourth wave will come, that's just a matter of time. But one thing is for sure, it's not going to kill as many people that it did in the second one. But what it has left us is with a lot of morbidity in terms of pain, suffering. And as an orthopedic surgeon, I tend to see a lot of patients coming back with a lot of back pains. So let me first go through it quickly. Incidence of post-COVID symptoms are more common in females. Increased age and higher body mass index, that is being obese, is a big risk. If you have associated diabetes, blood pressure, or any other chronic illness, you have more chances of having post-COVID symptoms. And it's also about your ability to remain active. Those who are having sedentary lifestyle probably at a higher chance of suffering. So how does the virus work? See, basically the virus has got two ways to it. It's a direct mechanism where it directly binds to the ACE2 receptors on the skeletal muscle cells. Now, this is very, very important to know that post-COVID, when COVID attacked, it initially attacked the pulmonary, the lungs. That was the primary area that it attacked. But when it was over, it went and stayed back on the skeletal muscle cells. So most of the post-COVID symptoms are related to musculoskeletal pain. Simple thing like being tired, fatigue. Fatigue is the most common symptom post-COVID. So any of you all feel that, my energy levels are not the same that I used to be before, and if you've had COVID, or even if you did not have COVID, it doesn't matter, just because you have a negative test doesn't mean you didn't have one. It can be attributed to COVID itself. The second one was by what it does, that COVID initiated a very strong inflammatory reaction. And what people are suffering now is chronic inflammation from that virus. The virus is there, it's dead, but what it has left is that it has created a chronic inflammatory state. So you'll have a vague headache, body ache, fatigue, something like, you wake up in the morning and you are never fresh. Your sleep pattern has probably changed. You're not able to get that deep sleep. All these are part of post-COVID. So this is a small a slide which shows you how the virus attaches. But what it does, it basically goes and affects all your multi-organs. COVID is one virus. It is like it has changed the way we as doctors have actually started looking at medicine. New books have to be rewritten because COVID has acted like a completely new virus. It has a completely different mechanisms of action, and it has left a big mark on after effects. So now this slide I have put is just to make you a little funny side, because when the vaccine came, people are worried about taking a vaccine, and the media works either for you or against you. Either it makes you knowledgeable or it just makes you more scared. So every time a new medicine was there, people either tried it or were scared to try it. But let me tell you one thing, those who have not taken the vaccine are at a disadvantage. There is no two things about it. Very, very few people have died or have had side effects of the vaccine. But looking at the larger picture, you have to get vaccinated, because that vaccine is going to make your body, ready for the actual infection. So if you have not got infected, great, but you have not taken the vaccine, please go ahead and do it. So finally, the coronavirus either will kill you or it will maim you. So those who left us are probably the luckier ones. But what I'm trying to say is that COVID, just because you survived, it doesn't mean that it is not going to hit you. It's going to make your life difficult, provided. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that all of us are going to get sick, but what you need to do so that you remain stronger, that the next wave that comes in doesn't hit you. The most important thing for any illness is that you have to be a happy person. If you are scared, you are dead. Jo dar gaya, wo mar gaya. I'm telling you, people have died actually by fear. So when I say they died out of fear, it just doesn't mean they actually saw a ghost and then they died. No. Moment you get scared, your immune system down-regulates. Your ability to fight the disease becomes poor. Same thing with cancer. If you say, I have cancer, and you are very happy, so many studies have proved that you can live a longer life. And sometimes the cancer also is killed. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's your mental approach. Don't go by anything. Don't have to get panic. Follow the rules. Be happy. Social interaction, being with each other, talking to each other, having fun is extremely important. These are some of the symptoms. As I said, you can see that fatigue is the #1 symptom. Then basically, being like a brain fogginess, you're not able to concentrate, not able to focus, can be a symptom. And one of the best solutions for that is to practice deep breathing, pranayam. Let me tell you, if you don't want to see a doctor's face, please practice deep breathing exercises. Half of your problems will be over. Second, see that at least 1 hour you spend doing a good physical activity. And third most important thing is, do not buy anything to eat that comes in a packet. You understood what I'm saying? Anything that comes in a pack is a food which has been manipulated. It means noodles, it means churmure, it means Coke, it means anything. Any food that can be stored for 6 months, 3 months, is a food which has been manipulated so that it has lost its nutritional value. It just gives you calories. The only food that you can eat is the food that will get destroyed if you don't eat it today. So you have to eat anything that is fresh. Try not to eat leftovers or that which comes on the shelf. And the biggest reason for today for people being fat is eating processed foods. And that makes your immunity low. So all of you guys, you're in the age group where you have problem with pimples, with some skin rashes, putting on weight, your hormonal cycles have gone. Some people of you, the ladies, could be suffering from what is called as PCOD. All that is linked to the food that you eat. So please watch what you eat. That is number one. Get adequate sleep. Drink plenty of water. Don't drink anything else. Your body just needs water. It's as simple as that. The slides are not moving. Okay. So what you have to look for is muscle weakness, fatigue. BMD is the bone strength. So quality of your strength in the bone has also reduced. So the only way to counteract that is by increasing your physical activity. Whether you want to go to the gym, whether you want to do yoga, whether you want to do Pilates, whether you want to swim, cycling, anything, just 1 hour, just get out and take some sun on your face. Don't run away from the sun. The sunshine, vitamin D is going to protect you from many diseases, not just orthopedic problems, because vitamin D is a big enzyme. It is required for so many other functions in the body. Next slide. Next. No, you're going back. Okay, next. So if you have had symptoms 4 to 12 weeks post-COVID, that is called as a post-COVID. And you can also get a syndrome. Your symptoms can last up to 1 year. So these are two situations where COVID can still bother you post-COVID. Next slide. Next one. Next. I'm skipping slides because I've already spoken about it. So if you see coronavirus, if you see there on the top, the most important frequently reported symptom is joint pains and muscle pains post-COVID. So any of you have post-COVID symptoms like body ache, or there's no specific treatment. You just have to get out, start exercising, eat the right type of food, improve your immunity, and that's it. The body will take care of it by itself. Next slide. Next. So there is a very high risk of chronic pain post-COVID. So you should be able to deal with this by going to your doctor and dealing with it. There are many ways to deal with it. So those who are suffering from a chronic pain, whoever in the family should approach, because there is a particular way of treating this chronic pain post-COVID. Next slide. Next. Next. So these are some of the blood tests that we do to find out whether your body has inflammation or not. And it is possible to assess what degree of inflammation it is. Next slide. Now if you see this slide, post-COVID, 71% have a weight issue. 46% have a mental issue. These are all problems post-COVID. There were a lot of work days lost, and the hospital costs have gone high. Next slide. Now this is a nice slide. What are the evening plans before COVID and after COVID? How many of you will accept this? How many of you spend time on your mobile? Previously, that this habit has now lingered on and that you have not got back. So what I would like to say that I understand when you were homebound that you were spending a lot of time on your mobile. Now you are free birds. So please go back to your old habits of going for a walk, going out, taking a nice walk in the sunshine, and controlling the amount of screen time that you're having there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor, for that lovely slide, and also telling us a lot about our daily habits and the way we're supposed to live and what we're supposed to eat, which many of us don't realize otherwise. We're quite used to having a lot of packed foods with a lot of preservatives, but I'm sure Doctor's presentation has kind of taught us a lot. At least I'm going to change and work towards a better diet as compared. I would now like to invite and call forward Haneen Kadar to share with us her experiences.
Good afternoon, the youth of Goa. Would you all mind if I walked around, because I walk around a lot? So is that okay? Doctors, would you all mind if I walk past? All right. So,
Check.
okay, I got this. Thank you, guys. First of all, doctors, everybody who's spoken here, I would really like to thank them for all that you've said. Because in all honesty, I would not be able to sum up or explain the concept, the field, or anything of mental health, because it is a subject that has not been talked about, we're not educated, and we're all scared of it. Right? Right. I won't get you all to talk, but quick responses. It's not going to be a panel, but I just want to assess the level of stress you felt, or the people who are feeling stressed right now after listening to all the doctors that I've said about both the positives and negatives. So how many people here feel at least a little stressed or experience stress? Hands up, please. Can I have that? Okay, nobody stressed. Okay, one, I see one, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4 people who's experienced stress despite all, not despite, listening to what the doctors had to say, because they were both positives and negatives. Am I right? All right. Now, what I want to tell you is that if you notice, a lot of symptoms and a lot of things that the doctors mentioned here are somehow related either to your physical health, but it also correlates with your mental health, right? We are now beginning to understand that mental health is important and it has an impact because we all got to face it and experience it firsthand, right? Right. I don't want to say right. You all can just nod maybe? Yeah? Okay, all right. So I don't want to be talking about, let's say, educating you about what is depression, anxiety, and schizophrenia, and mania. All of those things exist. We have the next member, Mr. Swaroop. Swaroop, sir, I think we have a couple of people who've come here for Swaroop, sir. So he's going to educate you all on that. But I would like to address a more pressing issue, which is in the field of mental health. And I would like to re-emphasize and let you all know that I am a psychologist, a very passionate one. And I used to call myself a mental health advocate when I was a student. But now I call myself a mental health activist. So there is a difference there, right? Right. The reason I choose to do this is that all of us have to realize, or maybe let's just go back in time, when we did not have the technology, when we did not have the buildings, the lights, all of these fancy things that we have, which is a luxury to have, but also has, side effects, like the sedentary lifestyles we're talking about, right? Back then, there were famine, there were floods, earthquakes, things like that, with little resources. But people still flourished and fought great battles like wars. Survival was high, not enough income, no education. But do you think that when you go back in history, like the time Buddha was there, or the time, say, Mother Teresa was there, Florence Nightingale, Gandhiji, Dr. Ambedkar, all of these people fought very big things, right? We were not fighting amongst us, but we were fighting another country. And do you think we did great as a country when we think about independence? Do you think so? We fought for our independence? Right. What I am beginning to see is that there was a sense of community. There were people gathering, talking, sharing, because now it was one country against the others, right? Back then we had a war for freedom. Now we're going through a psychological warfare. And that is because of 2 things. Fear, which has just shot up the roof ever since the pandemic. Can I have some water, please? Which has shot up since the pandemic, giving different people different problems. Physical health, of course. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants their family members to die. Everybody wants all their loved ones to be happy. But it was a situation we couldn't control. And all we had to do was just wait for things to get better or for a miracle to happen. Now, we were in survival mode. A lot of things that I'm going to address that changed our lifestyle. Like a lot changed. I don't want to mention things like this changed, that changed. But imagine you were literally like in a camp and that camp was in your house. And not everybody has the best relationship with their parents. And when anybody, even if you have the best relationship with the best people in your life, you put them in a room it's going to turn into some kind of warfare, right? So what happened here is, one, there was a very big threat, a crisis, a virus that we don't know how to control, and there are people dying. Second, we have the media, like you rightly pointed out. It shifts from what it needs. I'm not saying everybody. See, there's different. Journalism is a very beautiful thing. Media is a very beautiful thing. In all areas, you will have the good and the not so good. So let's not look at doctors, pharmaceutical companies, journalism. Let's not look at all of that. What happened here is we all parted. We lost the support system of our family members because either we were sick or they were sick. We were burnt out because we had to constantly take care. High levels of stress. I'm not well, but my exams coming. Some have to write exams, some do not have to write exams. I mean, I would also get angry if I was not given the easy option, right? So there was a lot of things going on, but you couldn't talk to your parents couldn't talk to you. Mother had to cook, father had to provide, students had to study well enough so that they can provide. So much going on. And then there is health issues. Like, for example, you can't walk properly, you can't sleep properly, you can't see properly, you're losing hair, you have some kind of cyst inside. There's so many physical illnesses that are coming that require you to go to a doctor, which you otherwise would if you were feeling extremely mentally okay. It's just a leg pain, I know I have to go to the doctor. Doctor, can you please take care of it? We would do that. But when you're stressed and when you are experiencing symptoms of stress or mental illness, which is largely low mood, no energy, don't feel like talking, don't want to talk, angry, or just crying, you will have you will need someone to either come to you and ask, hey, what's up, and be that person, or you will at least need the physical energy to go there. But mental health is such that it takes that away from you. It takes your energy and it takes your ability to connect. You start isolating yourselves. Am I right? And you just are not in a space to talk. You're just so drained out, which stops you from going and seeking the help you actually need from these doctors. That adds up, that adds up, that adds up. Financial stress, others, that's all there, okay? Now, we're struggling physically and struggling mentally. Who think that body and mind is connected here? One person? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, most of them, body and mind is connected? Okay. We all know this now. It's not that we are stupid. It's not that we are dumb or we don't understand. Excuse my language, but I'm saying we are not any of that we are told to be. Humans as a species are adaptive, courageous, think. Most of all, we live in communities. We need people. We need people, and those people need us. If you have a friend who you need, you have to understand that it's a two-way relationship. You give and you take. So when my friend's ill, I'm going to go and soothe him or be there for him. And likewise, when I'm not well, he or she is going to be there for me and soothe for me. But if we are to lose that soothing person who usually is my mom or my father, my sibling, my friends, we can't meet, we can't talk, what's happening? We're losing all our support systems. Am I right? That in itself causes depression, anxiety, a lot of things. That's another whole textbook altogether, which requires for us to work on. Like, sir, you said, we have to, the new researches that have come out need to be told, right? Now, one thing that we don't understand is fear. That is what we most experienced in this pandemic, was fear of dying, fear of financial collapse, fear of losing a security, fear of being alone in the grave or alone in the world. Because now we have lost the ability to talk to each other or even communicate. Socializing is hard. Yes, up till 10th, 12th, it's very easy. Even up to graduation, it's easy to make friends because you have a place where there are options. But once you adult, my friend, once you adult and take a job, you're going to have a very tough time making friends because you're going to be busy working and making money or securing your life, and you're going to think that friends are not so important. But that is also a very big support system. What I'm trying to tell you is there was fear, isolation, and then there was media that showed the number of deaths. Like, sir, you were saying, can you please tell what you just said, the number of expected death rates that was expected and what it is now?
Yeah, so it was expected that India would perform very badly and we would have deaths in the range of almost 1 to 3 crores. But finally it turned out that with extremely good management, it came down to as low as maybe 4 to 5 lakh deaths. That's it.
So if you look at it, India has done exceptionally well based on the statistics of others, whichever country, whoever did the research. So we did well. It's always a hypothesis, but we did well. How many of you all were aware of the fact that India did well and there was so much of gap? I mean, we did comparatively well because it's a lot of difference. How many of you all knew about this information? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, couple of them, right? Good, good. We have to do that. I'll tell you why. Now, sir, can you please tell me about that article you said had to be published, the 99% about bacteria. You can use the, you can let go of that, but the idea, basically the finding, could you please say that?
Oh, the 99.9% killing medicine, killing bacterial thing. I have a liquid and with that I can kill 99.9% bacteria on my skin, head to toe. Either apply, dilute, or even pour it in a swimming pool, and you are there in the swimming pool a long time.
After any time?
And when you say 99.9, you actually keep your promise. You are not anywhere less than 99.9. And all the bacteria on your skin, good or bad, are killed. Now the good bacteria are killed. What is this good bacteria, bad bacteria? Oh, okay. Staphylococci, streptococci, acne-causing bacteria, the odor-causing bacteria. Call them good, call them bad, but they are there. They have been there for generations. Today morning a patient came to me, body odor. Go on, but in Bengaluru. I said, all right, don't worry. And how often you take bath? He said, once in a day. Make it twice a day, odor will come down. Don't try any specific things to cut down that odor, because there are good bacteria. They are taking care of the secretions. They are taking care of your sweat, the fat which is coming out onto the skin. If you kill the bacteria, for sure you are going to land with fungus, and that fungus is the ringworm. Ringworm is no more small like a ring. It's a palm size, big size, and huge size. And treating it is a big thing. It's not a small thing, one prescription, buy this medicine, no. And then again, there are thousands of medicines available. Out of that, might be hundreds are okay and rest 900 are not okay. And you do not have a choice. You go to the pharmacy, Mabare maka borete di. The pharmacy will give you borete. It might not be borete for the patient, it might be borete for his accounting system. That is it, you know. And there is nothing beyond that, what I can say, but then the whole thing has to be demolished and built up from below. Medical concept, medical treatment is this. And a new medical has come, new medicine has come, this is new, but then this is costliest. No, no, no. From where do you?
Can we say that we don't have a lot of information about bacteria, that is, we don't know what is good bacteria from what is bad bacteria, and bad bacteria, and we end up just listening and killing it. Now the point is, my friends, I want to make you all understand that right now we are forgetting what we are as humans. We are a community of species that survive when we live together. We are trusting of each other. Love is our strength. Fear is a very powerful emotion that can dismantle us. And apart from that, disunity is what breaks us. We are the people who discovered, Aryabhatta discovered the zero. We have forget the countries, we humans as a species are such that we know, we can. All that we know now is done by a species that was done exactly from ours. But the pandemic brought up fear, no trust, isolation, which is basically symptoms of mental illness and emotions. But the media also did this. It showed you the worst part of pandemic, which got all of us naturally depressed and scared. One. Second thing, the media also spoke about a government, pros and cons, and confused us, where we're like, can we at least turn to the government because we're looking at them for support? But now we couldn't look at them for support. I'm not mentioning anybody generally, because you can look at the history, and whoever's come forever, it's always been, democracy has not been the way democracy Gandhiji wanted us to have, right? Third thing is, these doctors who've spent years studying about, let's say, the eyes, the bones, the hair. I mean, how much can you study about a hair unless you're really passionate about it and you want to do something about it, right? So these people are passionate about each and every organ they're learning because they want to do something about it. They know it. But we, again, are told that doctors, we have certain agendas. You hear about doctor getting beaten up, and you hear about not to trust doctors, they're making money-making machines. Even we get that. So what we try to do is we also cut that support system off and say we're not going to go to doctors. No vaccine, no doctors, no community support, not talking to anybody. How can we not be depressed, anxious, scared, and all of that at once? We can figure all of this out. We can figure all the health issues if you focus on your mental health. What is mental health? Feeling peaceful, being able to enjoy the things that you're doing, liking what you're doing, having the eustress, not the distress, the good motivation. And it's not that you all have never felt that. You all have experienced those good, positive emotions, those motivations at one point or the other in your life, right? Which is why you all are here, still studying, making it through, right? So it's in you. We have forgotten it, or we need to remind ourselves of that, come together, make space for community and talking about mental health, because that is our strength. This is a psychological warfare. We don't need to know what's happening in Russia. We don't need to know what's happening in the happiest, I came across this a lot of times. The happiest country in the world is Finland. Maybe, good. Let's see why is it a good country? We can look at medicals, we can always tell it's the money, it's the government, but you know what? It doesn't matter what works well in Finland and why they're happy. What works for us and what will work for us here is what worked in India, what kept us together. How did we fight off the British? Unity. How did we come together and take care of each other? Love. Mother Teresa, she didn't need anything. It was all compassion, being there for each other, making space for each other. All of this can be sorted if you all become open to the idea of what mental health is, why it's being affected, why you should reach out to it, and how it starts from here. It's head to toe. You start from here, you'll have clarity, you'll be able to think straight, you will be able to figure out. Like doctor said, there's nothing that is not achievable. Trust yourself. Give some compassion, kindness. Sometimes we might not know how to go and talk. So maybe sometimes it happens that I want to talk to this person, but I just so can't go talk to this person. What you can do is, if you go to your therapist, she might be able to tell you that I think you have social anxiety. How happy you would be if you're able to actually go and do the things you wanted to do. What's stopping you is your mental health, the thoughts that's going on in your head. And when those thoughts are just there, imagine you're sitting at home, isolated, just lying on your bed for 1 day a week, eating junk food, packaged food, like Sir said. What's going to happen? Naturally, your joint is going to hurt, your back is going to hurt, the pain is going to make you not want to get outside. Not want to get outside makes you feel like you've missed out. It's just a vicious circle. Are you able to see the connection? Yeah? Do you all have me? Because I'm going to tell you this is because, why I'm telling you this is because I'm not going to be available for a panel here. I'm going to be available for the second half because I have something, the organization, Yorikikai, we have something for you outside the hall post your sessions, because the sense of community and the importance of community and how one of the ways to fight mental health and physical health is coming together as a community, as people, as humans, has a lot of importance. Like things like what doctor said, the sun. Don't run from the sun. You know what I do when I feel very sad and upset or depressed? Being a psychologist, because I know what to do, I make a cup of coffee, I just sit flat on the floor or wherever I can find sun, doesn't matter. If it's on the floor, I just fall and I just let that sun come to me at 9 o'clock. That's pleasant. Sometimes I wake up, if I have a back pain, I just stretch and I meditate. These things you will find hard to do by yourself, but YouTube will always help you. But what if you had this one-on-one person who could tell you that this is what I feel and do this, because we are all different. English medicine, Unani, homeopathy, I will not tell this is better than that. We are all different. It works differently for different people. So be open. Do not be scared. We are people who respond to love. So use that. Do not let somebody else tell you what's happening. We did better. Find out, research, and you do not have to get scared when the media is saying we are doomed. Instead, think, okay, we are about to get doomed. What can we do? What can I individually do? Be there for your friend, if not anything else. The other part of mental health is going to be talked by Swaroop. We would like to see you outside later when you're done with all of this. If you have questions, I will come back in the next section. I speak as a mental health activist who's also a psychologist, not as somebody who came to today educate you about the neurotransmitters and the dopamine and serotonin and how it all interacts. You've got this, we've got this. If we work towards it together, we've got this. We've achieved so many things. Now as humans, use humanity, use human consciousness, and let's say the innate ability to care for others and make space for each other's emotions. As Indians, we're very close-knit, right? Sabko jana ki kya kar rahe, aapki beti kya pad rahi hai, aap achhe ho. Now it's become on a toxic level. But imagine every auntie and uncle went and asked, hey, how are you doing? How's your family life? Is there anything I can do for you? We would be an amazing community for ourselves. So let's start with that, because when there's a community, we have at least, when community involves doctors, teachers, everybody, and we will be able to find solution, and we will be able to trust the people in a community. You don't have to trust a doctor from France. We might have a doctor in the community. We can trust him. We can say, doctor, I'm scared. This is what I said. It has these repercussions. But I want to know if you think it's right. And if you trust the person enough by being around him, you take the chance, because it's either meds and side effect or either meds and it works. If not that, you're just struggling. Without meds, you're still struggling. So there's nothing that you're getting out of it by avoiding it. So that's about it, guys. I hope I didn't take much of your time. All of this is connected. We are all connected. And right now, we're not going through individual mental health. We're not going through individual mental illnesses. We as a society are going through a global, at least we're going through a global pandemic. Now, in India, it's a psychological welfare and a war against mental health. We have to understand what it is, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Haneen, for beautifully summing it up on behalf of Swaroop as well. Students, remember, we're going to have both of them with us all throughout the day. There's also going to be a session where, if y'all would like a one-to-one, they're going to be here with us till evening. We would now like to move on to the question-answer round. If any of the students have questions for our doctors on the panel, okay, if y'all can, we're going to circulate a mic around, a cordless mic. If y'all have a question, our doctors will be more than happy to answer. Any questions from the students? Any doubts? Probably something that you guys have faced during the pandemic, or you'll know of somebody who's faced something. Also, in a while, we're going to invite Mr. Dilavar Malade, the founder and director of ADMS Marketing. They've got two amazing products they would like to explain to all of us, products that are health related, since this is a health expo. They're here, they're beautiful products that will benefit each of us and benefit society at large. But before we move on to that, we're waiting for questions from our students. Don't be shy, you just throw the question and our doctors will be happy to answer.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Adrija Roy, and I'm from Goa College of Pharmacy. So I have a question, not so related to the pandemic, but related to the skin. So in our Indian system, we tend to take bath every day, but in the Western society, we take bath, means not we, means they take bath mostly when they feel, because in YouTube I have seen that there is a doctor called Dr. Mike, and he tells us about that it's not necessary to take bath every day, because there are many proteins in our skin, especially like keratin, which may denaturate if we if we expose them to suppose any soaps or anything else. But as doctor said that we need to kill the bacteria which are present in the skin. So which is more important, to protect those oils and proteins or to kill these bacteria?
If you kill 99.9% of the bacteria, you are in trouble. 50% killing, okay, all right. Take bath, they are washed out. I mean, of the total quantity, say 1 million, and then you come down to 50 lakhs or something, that is okay. And good bacteria, bad bacteria, this thing, concept you can understand. Antibiotics, if you are given orally, many times something like Neutralin B or Vivac, those things are also given as supplements, so that the good bacteria in the GIT are not disturbed or not completely washed out. Same thing, skin externally and the endoderm inside, from mouth to the anus, the lining inside. Take it in the same sense, and then, yes. Remember earlier sadhus used to sit in for samadhi for days together, and they never scratched, right? So possibly they did eat something, but never scratched the way people scratch today, right? One old man came to me as a patient, 80 years old, fat, and Muslim fellow. डॉक्टर साहब ऐसा कुछ कीजिए मेरी बीपी की तकलीफ दूर हो जाए. रोज शाम को 8 बजे कंघी लेके उसे बैठना पड़ता है, आधा घंटा पाँव स्क्रैच करना पड़ता है, उसके बाद मुझे नींद आती है. अपील इज, मेरा क्या होता है होने दो, लेट द ट्रबल टू माय वाइफ. Imagine that, scratching, full day scratching. You will have to appoint a person to scratch, right? That's not easy. You can't scratch your back many times. You need kamacha and hath like. If your wife is there around, it's fine. If not, what do you do? So whole thing is that the skin also is peaceful if those bacteria are there, because they take care of the stagnant things. Okay? And anyway, never grow fungus. Bacteria, fine. Fungus, take care. Other fungus, apart from ringworm, is simple thing as Shiba. Tinea versicolor, everybody knows about it. Body full of Shiba, possibly the bacteria are not there. Think of that. And then I am going to be into research. If there are any promoters, see this now, open challenge. I am going to be into research. If there are any promoters, that we will come out with a product to restore your bacteria. Done. That's it. Take this bath, 1, 2, 3 baths, 4 baths, bacteria restored, certified fit, go. All right? Okay.
Thank you, doctor. Are there any other questions from the students? Any doubts in your minds?
Hello, sir. Myself, Sagar, from Goa College of Pharmacy. So my question was, because of this pandemic, we have been taking online classes, and this we take almost from 9 to 5. So normally as we use phone, it doesn't affect our eyes. And what is the best habit to use phone? Now we cannot deny it, but which is the best habit to keep your eyes safe from the screen?
Hi. So basically, can we hear that? Yeah. So basically, we were telling about how to protect your eyes, right? So that's what I was telling. Ki when our eyes have a power to change our focal length, right? We can see for a distance object, we can see for a near object. Means our eyes are doing some work, right? They are changing its focal point. Okay. Our eyes are relaxed when we are looking at a distance object more than 6 meters. Okay, 6 meters maybe from here till third or the fourth row, right? But when we are looking at a computer screen or when we are looking at a laptop screen, what we are doing, our eyes are straining for that distance. Our eyes are continuously working. The eye muscles are continuously working for that distance, maybe for a laptop or a mobile and all, which continuously, if we strain, right, the muscle will go into spasm. It gives a plus power. So then there is a higher likely chance that you will get a number for a distance vision. Now, how to protect it is either you have to take frequent gaps. Okay, when you are on a computer screen or a mobile screen, don't be on it for a continuous like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. After every 20 minutes, so there is a rule called 20-20-20 rule. After every 20 minutes, take a gap of 20 seconds, look through a window or look through a distance of more than 20 feet. 20 feet is 6 meters. So what that does is it relaxes the eye muscles. So when you focus at a distance object, the muscle will go into a little relaxation. The plus power which it gives, it will become a little less. So there is a very high likely chance that you won't get a number. And whenever, see, you all are having computer classes and all, we definitely can't avoid it. But we try to reduce the screen time. Maybe for computer usage for classes is okay. The other recreational activities, try to avoid your screen time. And whenever you are on a mobile or a laptop or whatever it may be, always use it in a bright white light. Never use it in a yellow light. It strains your eyes much. So that's the only thing. And even if, see, now all of us, we are having a number. If y'all are having a number, it's a continuous number, 24-hour number. If a patient is, say, more than 40 years old, they have a number for only reading. Okay, so there is a myth. Some patients I get, they are telling, young guys like you, they are telling, I have a number only for reading. No, it's absolutely not. A number for reading only comes after 40 years. So whatever number we are having or whatever you all are having is a number for 24 hours. Never use it for like only computer screen or only mobile screen. You all have to use it if you all are having a refractive error, if you all have got corrected with a specs, that is a 24-hour number. From morning, if you are starting using it, it will be for distance vision also, near vision also. Okay, it's never a reading number for this age.
Thank you, Doctor. Any other questions from the students before we introduce and invite Mr. Dilavar Malade? Any other questions? We're open to take about a few more questions. Somebody from that side? Somebody from that row wants to ask a question, the last one on that end.
Hello everyone, I'm myself Rashi Ramdas Desai and I'm from Goa College of Pharmacy. So my question is, as sir said now, if we are using any mobile phones or anything we are doing, we need to do it in bright white light. So many a time in our classroom also, when there is bright white light and we are attending lectures, and now also in this hall, when we are listening to the talks given by all the doctors, there are many a times we face a lot of pressure and pain on our eyes and headache. Then when I interacted with my friends also, they told me the same thing. So is this also related to the same thing, like we need to take breaks in between and all those things?
Basically, you are asking about the bright light, right? Yeah. So whenever you are on a computer screen and all, the bright light will definitely affect you. Now, the main thing you're concerned about is the contrast. Okay, so now never see, now if I'm seeing here, if you are looking here, if there is a bright light behind you, I will definitely feel that contrast difficulty. So always when you are reading a laptop or a mobile and all, never the light should be from this side. The light should be from behind. Okay, so there should be that contrast effect. Okay, so for example, if there is a bright screen behind, if there is something, so mobile or a laptop, maybe if you keep it here, it will be very difficult for you to read, right? So just the opposite side, if I keep it like this, there will be much better. One more thing you all can do is a blue filtered lenses have come up in market, okay? Or otherwise, even if you all have a spectacle number, you all can put that coat. It protects you from that harmful rays, okay? So that helps in protecting the eyes. One more thing is like if you all are driving in a bright sun, some people complain that you all are having that glare, you can't face bright sunny light or whatever the light reflects from a car bonnet or maybe a sea surface and all. That's called glare. So the only way to protect is you have to use a polarized sunglasses whenever you are going out. Okay? A polarized sunglass is a one which polarizes all the rays. Okay? It decreases the intensity of light. So the bright light which is entering into the pupil and into the retina, that gets filtered out so that a bare minimum amount of light goes in. It protects the macula and the retina, of course.
Thank you, sir.
I now hope all your questions are answered. We would now like to invite Mr. Dilawar Malade, the founder director of ADMS Marketing. They're here to tell us a little about the two products which are going to benefit society at large, sanitary pads and EVs.
Hello everyone. Would like to thank all the doctors, KLE facility and Robert sir to giving us opportunity right here. Our past, present and future, a lucky future is right sitting here. It's an opportunity for every one of you to have a look at our products. The reason I'm saying lucky future, जब हम लोग छोटे थे, बड़े हुए, समुंदर जाते थे नहाने के लिए, we used to see plastics all around. Then our directors, our founder, they came up with the idea, why to use plastic for a sanitary napkins? When your children will come in this world, they'll see sanitary napkins all around. It's not biodegradable, which you're using in the market. It's not only for ladies sitting out here, it's also for boys. We have sisters, we have mothers, we have friends. We can always educate them to use something called as biodegradable product. Now, because of the sanitary napkins that we see in the market, we use for ourselves, it's not biodegradable, it's plastic, it's harmful for a long term for you, yourself, as well as for environment. So our company called ADMS Marketing Private Limited came up with the idea to have these kind of healthy product for our female, for our sisters across India, and we introduced a product called Thank You. So you can have a look at the first counter out there. We can explain you, show you the demo. We have our executives right there who share you the demos. Now, with this medical product, we have another medical product called EV bikes. Everyone have heard of EV bikes? All love bikes? All like to ride bikes? कभी तो चुराया रहेगा डैडी का चाबी? हाँ? पेट्रोल भरने में तकलीफ हुआ रहेगा कि नहीं? पेट्रोल कहाँ से भरूँ? चाबी तो ले लिया, बाइक ले लिया, अभी पेट्रोल कहाँ से भरूँ मैं? So, these EV bikes are the future for you and us as well at the same time. हम लोग बूढ़े हो जाएंगे, इतना पोल्यूशन में नहीं रह सकते. अस्थमा, ऑक्सीजन, ऑलरेडी कोविड ने इतना सफ़र किया सब लोगों को. प्रॉब्लम्स में आए सब लोग, अपन नहीं आए तो अपने नेबर्स आए. It is also because of pollution. To control this, government has approved, like there are many companies out of which we are standing on 5th position in India with our EV bikes. With 410 showrooms in South India, we are growing towards North India as well at the same time. Now, Goa is one of our best territories because we have a lot of youngsters around here. We have stepped into Goa with 3 showrooms at present. The best is Thivim and another one is Madgaon and Mapsa. So you can always have a look at our bikes at the showroom if today you don't get a chance. But it's a golden opportunity. We can give you a test ride right at the entrance of this premises. Have you seen the e-bikes? Guys, hello. I know you guys are hungry. I'll just take 1 minute more. So you must have received our brochures about the e-bikes. You can have a look. If you love one of the bikes, you can have a test ride outside the compound. So you have a nice facility around. And just to have a little touch about how this thing happened, would love to call upon our founder and director, Mr. Dilawar Malade, to have 30 seconds or 1 minute of his life journey into ADMS marketing. Sir, please.
नमस्कार, मैं सभी को कह रहा हूँ नमस्कार, उतना तो बोलिए। थैंक यू सर, जो रॉबर्ट सर ने हमें एक डेमो दिखाने के लिए और जो हमारे कंपनी के बारे में बताने के लिए मौका दिया, और शुक्रिया करना चाहता हूँ डॉक्टर साहब आप सभी को, जिन्हें हमें एक चांस दिया। तो हम पहले सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जॉब करते थे एज ए इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर, तो उधर वो कंपनी में सैनिटरी पैड्स बनाते हम लोग और गवर्नमेंट को फ्री देते थे वो। और दूसरा माला एंड टैबलेट्स, ये सब गवर्नमेंट को फ्री मिलता है ना, सब कंपनी में बनाते हैं हम लोग। तो वही आइडिया रिटायरमेंट होने के बाद वही आइडिया में आई, एक हाइजीनिक प्रोडक्ट बनाना चाहिए, इसलिए हमें हाइजीनिक प्रोडक्ट बनाया। अभी ऑल इंडिया में वो सप्लाई हो रहा है। उसी के साथ ईवी बनाया। अभी रेवोल्यूशन पीरियड है अभी, उसके साथ पेट्रोल की महंगाई और पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल, ये तीनों चीज़ देख के हमने एक हाई स्पीड बाइक भी बनाई, हाई स्पीड स्कूटर भी बनाई। उसके साथ साथ ये मंथ में हमारा ऑटो भी आ रहा है, उसके साथ ट्रैक्टर भी आ रहा है, और 2024 में हमारा ईवी कार बनाने का प्लान चल रहा है। तो आपने हमें मौका दिया, इतना ही कहना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। और बाहर डेमो के लिए गाड़ी भी रखी है, आप डेमो दे के गाड़ियाँ अच्छी लगी तो ले लो आप, और आप इस्तेमाल करके दूसरों को इस्तेमाल करने के चांस दे दो, और पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल करने के लिए हमें सहयोग दे दो। इतना ही कहना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Mr. Dilawar Malade, for enlightening us on the two products. I would now like to call forward Mr. Vinod Deshnur, Public Relations Officer of KLE Hospital. They've got mementos for our doctors present with us who've taken the time off. I would also like to call Anandi De Silva to hand over the mementos on behalf of the management. Okay, come, you can give them. We would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to our supporters, Goa Pharmaceuticals Manufacturers Association, RG Stone Urology and Laparoscopy Hospital, Delfinos, Nobbits Fitness Studio, R3, Dr. Tina's Ayurveda Pharmacy and Clinic. To our sponsors, our key sponsor, KLE's, Dr. Prabhakar Kore Hospital and Medical Research Center, Imperial Plus Hospital, a multi-speciality hospital, Dr. Kedar's Hospital, Panjim, Goa. And we're very grateful to them for granting us the time. We do understand that our doctors are very busy in practice, but they still made it here today for the Expo, for the second day of the Expo 2022. And I'm sure their experiences have truly enlightened us, solved a lot of our doubts that we had, a lot of queries that we carried on with us till today. We would like to close this afternoon program with an announcement of lunch. There has been lunch arranged for each and every one of you, which is right outside in the cafeteria, so please do not leave without lunch. We would like you all to assemble again for the evening program. Thank you once again for joining in, and thank you for being a part of today morning's event. Thank you.
meant for women's safety. Since Goa is a iconic tourist destination, large number of tourists come, which also includes women. So in order to ensure that whoever comes to Goa feels safe when they see women staff on duty, that definitely enhances their confidence. And as of now, I have been told that it is working very fine, but since I have joined only a couple of days back, so I will definitely examine, and if any redeployment is required in those areas where there is a high footfall of women, like government offices, women's colleges, girls' colleges, bus stands. So we will ensure that women police forces deployed in those areas.
What is the crime rate of Goa? आपको क्या लगता है? Decrease हुआ है, increase हुआ है? What are we at the moment?
Because I have yet to take out a crime conference, and but I think the force is well equipped, and all those sensational cases which were reported even when I was IGP, and they were worked out, and force is well equipped. I would rate Goa police as one of the better police forces in the country, because officers of my cadre, Admut cadre, get an opportunity to work in more than one states, because we are a cadre which comprises of 3 states and almost 8 union territories. So we go to all these places.
ಬಾಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ. ತಾವು ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನನ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಇಷ್ಟ.
ಪಂಚ್ ಪಟ್ಟಾಗಿಟ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರು,
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಪವರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್.
वेलकम बैक टू अनहुक्ड विद ज़िबा में मैं हूँ सेजल कुमार
और मैं हूँ सेरा जैन, और इस शो पे हम 8 ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल्स के साथ बात करेंगे जिनके बॉडी टाइप्स डिफरेंट है, जिनके लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस डिफरेंट है, बट द गोल इज द सेम, टू फील ब्यूटीफुल इनसाइड एंड आउट.
और हम ये 8 लेडीज को 3 दिन की एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव जर्नी पे लेके जाएंगे एंड होपफुली आंसर सम ऑफ दीज क्वेश्चंस दैट हम अनहुक करेंगे.
Unhook one by one. Are you ready?
आज के एपिसोड में हम मिलेंगे अनुश्री से.
Hello guys, my name is Anushri Bhargav and I am an artist. मैं लिखती हूँ, पेंट करती हूँ, पर अपना सही साइज कभी नहीं ढूंढ पाती. Let's see if you all can help me out with it. Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm totally good. Hi.
So, you are an artist.
Artiste.
Artiste with an E.
With an E.
जब हम तुम्हारे बारे में पढ़ रहे थे, हमने पढ़ा कि तुमने स्कूल में काफी फन चीजें करी हैं. Tell us about it.
जब मैं 10th में थी, I was 14. Yeah, and then I started to paint, and then canvases, and then wall murals, और फिर I've written a book as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's about it. और बस अब चल रहा है.
अच्छा ही चल रहा है.
तो I think हमारा सबसे obvious question is to talk about the L word. It's not love. Talk about lingerie. तुम्हें क्या लगता है सबसे बड़े challenges क्या है when you go to buy lingerie?
Oh God, I think heavy busted होना एक प्रॉब्लम है. कभी कभी आपको साइजेस नहीं मिलते, कभी कभी आपको ऑप्शंस नहीं मिलते.
हाँ.
कि आपको कुछ पसंद आता है बट शायद वो आपके साइज में ना हो. गो टू हमेशा स्पोर्ट्स ब्रा रहता है. मैं लिटरली जो भी शॉप करती थी वो अपने गर्लफ्रेंड्स या सिस्टर्स को दे देती थी, क्योंकि वो मेरे को फिट ही नहीं होता था. वो बल्ज आउट हो जाता था, या फिर वो थोड़ा सा नहीं अच्छा लगता था.
Are you saying that तुम ज़्यादातर स्पोर्ट्स पा ही पहनती हो?
हाँ.
हम दोनों की प्रॉब्लम आई थिंक सिमिलर है. स्मॉल फ्रेम बट बिगर ब्रेस्ट.
ब्रेस्ट.
तो उसके साथ आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम्स हुए हैं
sometimes posture. I mean, कभी-कभी खुद को remind करना पड़ता है because you know you naturally tend to lean, and then you have to like, oh, okay, posture. You can't sit like this. You can't, sit like a budi amma. And of course, finding the right size or.
Okay, well, hopefully we have a solution for this. But thank you for sharing